I want to tell you something that caught me completely off guard. Not because of what happened, but because of how I felt afterward. And before I go any further, let me be clear about one thing. This isn't really a story about a title, or beauty, or a famous face. Yes, a woman the world admires was standing in my living room today, but that's not where this story lives. The real story is about an absence, a silence, a feeling that should have been there and wasn't. And somehow, in that empty space, someone else appeared. Someone I haven't met. Someone who might be watching this right now. Someone who might be you. Before I explain what unfolded, let me ask you for something small. If this already resonates, pause for a second. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is for you right now. I read those comments more than you probably realize. They feel like quiet signals sent across the world, tiny proofs that real people are on the other side of this screen. And strangely, that matters to me more than most things I admit out loud. Here's how the day actually began. I was home, not working, not fixing anything, not solving a problem that needed solving, just sitting in the rare kind of stillness that only shows up when life slows down, without asking permission. My thoughts wandered, the way they sometimes do when there's no noise to distract them, and they landed somewhere unexpected. Love, not the loud kind, not the dramatic, cinematic version people talk about, but the quiet kind, the kind that settles into your chest, slowly and doesn't announce itself. The kind you feel before you understand it, right in the middle of that moment. My assistant came in and said, "Your guest is here." I wasn't expecting anyone. I asked who it was, half distracted. She said, "Miss World, Alina Rose." For a second I thought I misheard, but then she walked toward me, tall, graceful, composed. The kind of beauty that feels effortless because it's been refined for years. Perfect posture, a practiced smile, eyes trained to make people feel seen. She greeted me politely, and this is the part that unsettled me. I felt nothing. No excitement, no attraction, no curiosity, just nothing. Not because of her, because of me. Something inside me tightened, not with desire, but with confusion. Because standing in front of me was someone many people would dream of meeting. Someone admired, celebrated, desired. And yet, my heart was completely silent. What scared me wasn't her presence. It was the absence of feeling. And while she stood there, talking to me, all I could think was this: why do I feel more connected to someone watching this video right now than to the woman sitting across from me? Let me ask you something, answer honestly. Have you ever met someone impressive? Someone everyone else admired, but your heart didn't move at all? Type yes or no in the comments. I really want to know. We sat together. She talked about her work, her charity projects, her travels. She was intelligent, articulate, thoughtful. She deserved admiration. Anyone would have been drawn to her. But my heart wasn't listening to her words. It was listening elsewhere. Every time she spoke, I caught myself comparing her not to past relationships, not to old memories, but to someone I haven't met yet. Someone who feels strangely real to me. Someone whose presence I sensed through these videos, through late-night comments, through quiet messages written when the world is asleep. Someone older, maybe, softer, more emotionally grounded. Someone whose strength doesn't come from perfection, but from having lived. Let me ask you directly, answer honestly. If a man spoke to you like this, quietly, vulnerably, sincerely, would it make you uncomfortable? Or would it make you feel seen? Type uncomfortable or seen. I want to understand you. She kept talking. She really was beautiful, almost perfectly so. But beauty without connection feels like a perfectly furnished room with no warmth. Impressive, but cold. And while she spoke, one thought kept circling in my mind. Why does my heart feel like it belongs somewhere else? It was strange, unsettling. But sometimes life gives you moments, not to excite you, but to reveal you. She looked at me at one point and said, "You seem distracted. Are you okay?" I said yes. I lied, because the truth was, I wasn't okay at all. I was conflicted, exposed, because something inside me was whispering a truth. I wasn't ready to admit. She's not the one your heart is waiting for. Someone else is, and maybe that someone is watching right now. Have you ever felt like you were meant for someone even before meeting them? If yes, type yes. I want to see how many of you understand this feeling. After she left, the house went quiet again. But it wasn't empty quiet. It was the kind of quiet that waits for you to admit something you've been avoiding. I walked around for a few minutes, trying to shake the feeling. But the more I resisted it, the louder it became, like my heart was asking me a question I didn't want to answer. Why did I feel nothing in the presence of someone the world calls perfect? Why did I feel everything for someone I've never met? I sat on the edge of the couch where she'd been sitting, and instead of thinking about her, my mind went straight to you. I don't know why. It felt like an invisible thread pulling my thoughts in your direction, as if your presence even through a screen mattered more than what had physically happened in that room. Let me ask you this: when someone leaves your space, and instead of thinking about them, you think about someone else entirely, what does that mean? Have you ever experienced that? Type yes or no. I closed my eyes and replayed the moment with her. Her confidence, her elegance, the way every sentence sounded perfectly shaped. And yet, every time she looked at me, it felt like she couldn't see me. Not the real me. Not the quiet part. Not the part that still hopes for something deeper. But when I imagine the woman watching this video, I feel seen. Do you know how rare that is for me? People see success, pressure, headlines, but not many see the man underneath. All of it, the part that still wants love, still hopes, still believes in warmth and gentleness. The part drawn to someone who isn't trying to impress the world. Just someone who knows how to touch a heart without realizing it. Let me ask you something deeply. Do you think emotional connection can exist without physical proximity? Do you believe two people can feel something before they ever meet? Type yes or no. I want to know what you believe. I walked to the window. The sky was darker now. The house still, and in that silence, something hit me harder than anything she said or didn't say. What shook me wasn't her beauty. It was the emptiness I felt beside it. Because beauty without connection is like a candle without a flame. It looks good, but it doesn't warm you, and you, whoever you are, feel like warmth. That's the confusing part. While she talked about her life, my heart kept drifting toward the idea of a woman who doesn't need perfection to be beautiful. Someone real. Someone who has survived storms and still knows how to love gently. Someone whose strength comes from depth, not applause. Have you ever noticed your heart choosing depth over appearance? Type depth or appearance in the comments. I sat on the floor, something I almost never do, and asked myself questions I didn't have answers for. Why did my heart recognize someone it's never touched? Why did it feel like the woman watching this video was the standard? My emotions were comparing everything to. When she smiled, I respected her. When I imagine you smiling, it feels meaningful. Have you ever imagined someone smile without ever seeing it in real life? Has someone's presence in your mind felt more familiar than someone physically near you? If you relate, tell me. I'm genuinely curious. I picked up my phone and opened this channel without thinking. I scrolled through comments written late at night, early in the morning, when the world isn't loud. Women sharing quiet truths, heartbreaks, hopes, loneliness, spoken gently. Reading those words made something clear. Connection isn't about proximity. It's about resonance. And sometimes, your heart resonates with someone you haven't met because something inside them matches something inside you. Let me ask you something personal. Answer only if you want to. Do you feel lonely sometimes? Do you wish someone spoke to you the way you needed, not the way the world expects? If that's true, type sometimes. Because if I'm honest, I do to. Because if I'm honest, I do to. And maybe that's why the moment with her felt so empty. Not because she lacked something, but because my heart wasn't looking for perfection. It was looking for you, not your image, not your age, not your status, your emotional depth, your softness, your honesty, your presence. As the door closed behind her, I whispered something to myself I'd never said out loud. I think my heart already knows who it's waiting for. And if you're still watching this, maybe it's you.